Sherrone Moore, Michigan's head football coach, is learning every step of the way. He has my vote of confidence. There's no way I would fire him before this season, let alone I would give him 5 seasons. He's in year 2. Come on. Sherrone Moore has invested in Michigan football. He was tight end coach at Michigan before becoming offensive line coach, where he produced 2 Joe Moore award winning offensive lines. And it should have been 3 in a row because Michigan beat the Joe Moore award winning team the third year, which was Washington, in the national championship game. And Michigan's offensive line was much better than that. The guy has been offensive coordinator as well for Michigan, and this was all under Jim Harbaugh, of course. But even Jim was about to be fired after the 2020 season when Michigan went 2-4 or whatever during COVID. He was not winning Big Ten titles like he was supposed to. He was not winning versus Ohio State. Then all of a sudden, things turned. Harbaugh learned how to be a general manager, a CEO. He learned how to hire good assistants and delegate to them. And Sherrone Moore was one of these guys. And now it's his baby. Anyway, Jim Harbaugh got ousted by the NCAA. They had a boner for him, and despite that fact, innovation and progress continued. Harbaugh, the NCAA hated Michigan and hated Harbaugh because he was all about innovation and the fact that the game is going to change and NIL is going to happen and satellite camps, and he did all this stuff that the NCAA did not like and want, and they ousted him after a national championship. But guess what? Sherrone Moore filled in for a couple of those games. So Harbaugh was ousted, and he took Ben Herbert, Jesse Minter, and multiple other Michigan coaches on the staff with him to the NFL, to the Chargers, leaving Sherrone Moore with a bare covered coaches, but not only coaches, players as well. Michigan also had 14 players drafted that season last year when Sherrone Moore had his first head coaching experience. Sherrone continued to keep recruiting and maintained the culture in 2024, beating USC at home, Ohio State on the road, Alabama in the bowl game without a quarterback on the roster. Tell me another coach that would be able to do that, Sherrone Moore. That is truly impressive. He went and allowed outsiders to pay for a new quarterback, which is fine, the Oracle guy, Larry Ellison, and the new Fox guy, Barstool, the Michigan fan. I'm forgetting his name right now, but you know him. They paid for Bryce Underwood. Sherrone Moore is just getting a grip on being a head coach. He has Chip Lindsey at his side, making sure that Underwood's potential is going to be realized. He's delegating. He's learning how to keep it all intact. It's amazing that Michigan went 7-5 last year in Sherrone Moore's first year in the regular season. They won the bowl game versus Alabama to go 8-5 without a freaking quarterback, and to keep everything intact, to be able to run the ball still. A lot of those games that Michigan lost were one possession games too last season. So enter this season, Michigan 5-2, and if they win out, they're in the playoff. Beat Michigan, Ohio State at the end of the year. Michigan State's this weekend, and I might be doing this a little bit too early. I don't want to discredit Michigan State and their program, but it's not what Michigan has rolling right now. And Sherrone Moore and Chip Lindsey and Bryce Underwood is starting to realize the potential that they have while maintaining the smash mentality of Michigan's past. And Wink Martindale is learning that his players can hold wide receivers and the quarterback accountable without blitzing every fucking play. So, 50% early in the season, blitz rate, Dr. Blitz, he's learning too. So we've started over before. And I don't understand why people want Sherrone Moore gone, except for like a race card that I'm going to bring up here in a second. But Rich Rod was fired too soon. Brady Hoke was fired not soon enough. Do we want to start over after a year and a half of this new guy that knows the system, that has been brought up through it, that Jim Harbaugh fought for, that he says this guy should be the replacement, and Michigan trusted in that? You can't fire a guy with that track record without starting all over again. And I believe if you give him time, him and Bryce Underwood and Sherrone Moore and Wink Martindale, Sherrone Moore and Bryce Underwood will be the first black national champions at head coach and quarterback that we've ever seen before. Like I said, is that the reason everyone hates what Michigan is doing? Because I can see the potential. I can see the upward trajectory. Michigan should be the state where that happens, because we love everybody here, especially if they are competent at their profession or whatever they're doing, no matter the race, creed, gender, etc. The Underground Railroad went through here on the way to Canada. We helped you guys out. I don't want to seem, what's the word? Not unappreciative, but what's the word where I want to seem less racist? But it's not. It's not. Sherrone is a great coach, and I think everyone should be fighting against that. Sherrone needs to keep this thing rolling, keep it building. This young roster is going to be back next season. If we get rid of it all and demolish it, we got to start all over. We don't want that. We don't want that. So Sherrone Moore has a vote of confidence from Dependent Fanatic, and it's not just because he's black, it's because of his track record at Michigan. And he's flipping players. He's recruiting his ass off as we speak. Go Blue. Go Sherrone Moore. Enough of this talk about finding a new coach. It's not going to happen. It's not. Go Blue.